How did your unit's warrior ethos turn into abuse disguised as toughness? Staff Sergeant Brendan Lockhart ran our platoon like it was Special Forces selection. We were regular infantry, nothing elite about us. But Lockhart had this obsession with making us the hardest unit on base. Started small, extra PT sessions before breakfast, nothing crazy, just push-ups and runs. Said it would build character, make us warriors instead of soldiers. Then it escalated. Lockhart began punishing mistakes with physical exercises that bordered on dangerous. Private Felix Cunningham dropped his rifle during drills. Lockhart made him low crawl through gravel for an hour. Felix's elbows were bleeding through his uniform. Pain is weakness leaving the body, Lockhart would say. Real warriors push through. My buddy Russell Hayworth questioned it once. Asked if maybe we were going too far. Lockhart got in his face, screaming about how soft the new generation was. Made Russell do flutter kicks until he vomited, then kept him going another 30 minutes. After that, nobody questioned anything. We just endured it. The worst was something Lockhart called Warrior Wednesday. Every week, he'd pick someone to go through Hell Day. 24 hours of non-stop physical punishment disguised as training. You'd start at midnight, firemen carry your buddy up a hill, do it wrong, start over, then low crawl through mud, then more exercises, for 24 straight hours. No sleep, barely any water, just Lockhart screaming about warrior spirit. Private Sterling Briggs collapsed during his turn, just dropped unconscious in the dirt. We thought he was faking to get out of it. Lockhart thought so too. Get up, Briggs, warriors don't quit. But Sterling wasn't moving. His lips were blue, skin cold and clammy. Someone finally called the medic despite Lockhart yelling at us not to. Heat stroke, severe dehydration. Sterling spent 3 days in the hospital. Could have died if we'd waited any longer. Medical asked what happened. Sterling, loyal to the platoon, said he forgot to drink water during regular training. Didn't mention Lockhart or Warrior Wednesday. Things got worse after that. Lockhart became paranoid someone would report him. Started threatening us. Said if anyone went to command, he'd make sure they got the worst assignments possible. Ruin their careers. What happens in this platoon stays in this platoon. We're building warriors here. The brass wouldn't understand. I watched guys develop stress fractures from excessive runs. Saw Trevor Dawson tear his rotator cuff during mandated fight training where Lockhart would make us box each other until someone got knocked down. Nobody reported anything. We were trapped in this cycle of abuse, convinced it was somehow making us better soldiers. The breaking point came during a field exercise. We'd been awake for 48 hours. Lockhart's idea of realistic combat conditions. Private Quincy Sawyer was pulling security, barely conscious from exhaustion. Enemy force simulation came through. Quincy, half asleep, didn't call it in properly. Lockhart lost his mind. Started screaming, got physical, shoved Quincy backward. Quincy stumbled, fell wrong, landed on a rock, broke his collarbone. The crack echoed across the training area. This time the injury was too obvious to hide. Battalion commander got involved, started asking questions, really digging into our training methods. Lockhart tried spinning it, said Quincy tripped during normal operations. Accidents happen in field training, but something changed in us. Maybe it was seeing Quincy writhing in pain while Lockhart tried to cover his own ass. Maybe we just finally hit our limit. Russell spoke up first. Told the commander everything. Warrior Wednesday, the excessive PT, the threats, all of it. Then Felix backed him up, then Trevor, then me. One by one, the entire platoon broke the code of silence. Lockhart stood there, face red, screaming about betrayal. Called us weak. Said we'd never be warriors. Investigation took 2 weeks. They interviewed everyone. Documented injuries. Reviewed medical records that showed our platoon had triple the injury rate of any other unit. Lockhart got relieved of duty pending court-martial. Charges included assault, cruelty, and creating a hostile environment. He faced 10 years in military prison, but here's what nobody expected. During the trial, Lockhart's service record came out. 2 deployments to Afghanistan. Severe PTSD diagnosis he'd been hiding. Therapist reports showing he was trying to relive combat through training because he couldn't cope with civilian garrison life. The guy we thought was just a sadistic bully turned out to be seriously mentally ill. Didn't excuse what he did, but explained it. Court sentenced him to 5 years, reduced rank, dishonorable discharge. He served 3 before getting released. Sterling transferred to a different unit, fully recovered, made sergeant faster than anyone in battalion history, became known as one of the best leaders on base. Patient, fair, tough, but never cruel. Russell got promoted too. Now runs a program teaching young NCOs about toxic leadership and how to recognize abuse before it escalates. Felix took early separation. Said the military wasn't for him after everything. Last I heard, he's a high school teacher coaching wrestling. Teaches kids about real discipline versus punishment. Me, I stayed in. Made staff sergeant myself, but I learned the difference between building tough soldiers and breaking human beings. Real warrior ethos isn't about pain, it's about purpose. Training should be hard, but it shouldn't destroy people. 6 months ago I got an email. Address I didn't recognize. It was from Lockhart. He'd gotten treatment after prison. Real psychiatric care. Wrote to apologize, take full responsibility, explain he'd been projecting his combat trauma onto us. You all deserve better leadership. I'm sorry I failed you. I never responded. Some apologies come too late, but I printed it out. Keep it in my desk as a reminder, because now I'm in charge of training new soldiers, and every single day I make sure they know the difference between discipline and abuse. That's how warrior ethos died in our unit, and how we learned that the toughest thing you can do isn't enduring pain. It's speaking up when something's wrong.